Hi, I'm Jared Fault, and today we're going to teach you how to EQ your snare drum. Now, I guess I can say teach you, but we're more going to show you exactly how we EQ ours and the way we do it. Okay, we're not saying there is only one way or anything like that, but we get a lot of really positive comments on the sound of our drums, and so we wanted to show you guys exactly how we do that. Obviously there's videos on miking techniques, tuning, muffling, all that kind of stuff. But this video, we're just going to focus on the EQ of the snare drum. So we've got another camera in the control room where the sound engineer responsible for all the drumlessons.com videos is waiting, Victor Guidera. Victor.
Hey guys, good to be here. So as Jared said, we're going to be working on the snare drum in this video. So what we're going to do is just similar to the bass drum video, we're going to get him to just play loud, consistent notes so we can tweak the sound how we want it to be. So first off, I'll get him to play and I'm going to listen for things that I do and don't like about the snare drum. So first thing that I'm hearing, it has quite a bit of sustain and a little bit of a ring somewhere in the 500 hertz to 1000, 2000 hertz range. And it's also got a little bit of a pocky sound in the low mid range, somewhere around 400 to 300 that I'm just not liking. And I'd also like to hear it just a little bit more crispy, a little bit more high end. So first off, I'm going to get Jared to just dampen the snare drum a little bit.
All right guys, so what I'm going to use here is just a piece of drum gum. You could also check out the video on muffling, and there we have some other techniques that I use, but I use drum gum, there's moon gel, and stuff like that. So anything that kind of will remove some of the ring, and I'm just going to place that on the edge of the drum near the Evans logo there. And hopefully that takes care of the excess ring that Victor's talking about.
So that dampening really helped on the sustain. I'm still hearing this ring that I don't want to hear. So now let's start EQing some of those things that I first talked about. Great, so that's starting to sound really good. So what we're doing is we're generally cutting on this snare drum. So we're cutting at about 500 hertz, we're cutting about 5 dB or so. We're cutting at about 300, 320 hertz, about 3 or 4 dB. And then for that high end that I was talking about, on the Mackie console, I've boosted the high shelf at 12 kilohertz. Okay, so the top mic is sounding really good. Now, it sounds great on its own. I could use that in a mix and be happy, but I'm just going to try to get a little bit more sizzle out of the snare drum by adding in the bottom mic that's pointed right at the snare wires. So let's take a look at that. Okay, the EQ that I've introduced in the bottom snare mic, I took out the same cut that I did on the top snare mic at about 320 hertz, just about 2.5 dB, and then I added a little bit at 12 kilohertz again on the high shelf. And then I heard something of the snare wires where it sounded a little bit like metal on metal, like a kind of a metal smacking sound, not a nice snare sizzle. And I found that to be at about 3,000 hertz or so. So I just cut that about 3 dB. And so now I'm going to get Jared to play the snare again, and I'm going to balance the two microphones, the top mic and the bottom snare mic. Here we go. Okay, that's great. So I'm really happy with that. It's just sounding awesome. So Jared, what do you think?
I think the snare drum sounds great. Now, it's important to note, this is a snare drum from the 1970s. It's a recording custom snare drum. It wasn't exactly paired with this kit, but it's a chrome snare drum from the 1970s, so it's gonna get kind of a unique sound. So you might like that sound, you might not. In a lot of our videos, we also use a snare from my DW drum set that's made of maple. So if you're hearing something different from other videos, that's kind of what you're hearing here. One more thing to note is the mic selection. That's obviously going to dictate the tone and the sound of your snare drum. So we're using an SM57 on top and an SM57 on the bottom. So this is just how we do it. I hope it's going to help you when you're first EQing your snare drum, or you're going into studio or doing your live stuff, whatever you're doing. I just really, really hope it's going to help you. And I thank Victor for sharing his knowledge with us on drumlessons.com. It's very, very valuable for us drummers. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Hey guys, glad to be here. As Jared said, we're gonna be EQing Hey guys, really glad to, mostly, great. So that's sounding the snare mic in there, and
I think I'll take it from there.
hey guys, good to be here. Thanks, Jared.